completely mad?
No, you're insane.
Hello, and welcome to the Madhouse, episode 81. I'm Ultimate Spy 53, the host of this podcast, and joining me this week, I have...
I'm Chakky, I believe.
And absolutely no one else. There's no one else here. Go home. I'm a person.
I'm Steven Kovoc, also known as Steve Kovoc. I just exist in this world.
Hi, I'm bigdinoguy.
And I'm Brickhouse. Sorry, I've been gone. I've been sick.
So, we have two topics tonight. The first one is a Potter-style topic. The other one is a teaser trailer. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, really quick, can I say another thing?
Yeah.
Like on side topic?
Yeah, sure.
So, really quick, I need to mention this because I actually was just watching the movie before everything happened. But the newer Ghostbusters movie. People, when it came out, were nagging on it and whatnot. I was just like, okay, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
If it gets good reviews, I'll see it. If not, if not, then I'll just wait until it comes on video. I'm just gonna say, thank God I didn't pay any money for it, but damn, that's actually somewhat entertaining.
Huh,
because
really?
I know that it's just a rehash of a bunch of things, and it's no masterpiece. God
Well,
damn it, it's actually enjoyable.
Considering I haven't ever seen those movies, I wouldn't really know. I was legit scared of the first one. I'm like, don't let me watch this thing. I was like terrified of the first movie when I was younger, but that's me. That's why I haven't seen it. I know. But yeah, good point, yeah. So, anyway, there's two topics tonight. Which one do you guys want to talk about first? Which one was more exciting?
Here we are.
Okay, so for you guys who love Harry Potter and the world of Harry Potter, the universe of Harry Potter, there is a new poster and character art for Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwand, which is an awesome name for a movie because it is the second movie in the new Harry Potter pentology known as Fantastic Beasts. New characters, although there's one character that I am like since the first movie in the Fantastic Beasts series came out, I was a bit skeptical about why he looks so old because in the new movie there's a character called Grindelwald who looks older in the movie than he does in the Harry Potter movies, which is set in the 90s, and that's where I'm confused because if the Johnny Depp version of Grindelwald looks like he's in his 50s, how can he be the same character as the Grindelwald we see in the 90s unless that version is unless that's a flashback set in the 1800s? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Why 1800?
Because I mean, where else would he exist? Because if you remember, there was a clip from Order of the Phoenix where I think it was Dumbledore talking to, and it might have been Goblet of Fire. I don't know which one it was, but one of the Harry Potter movies where Dumbledore was talking to Harry about something, and suddenly there was a flashback clip where it was this Grindelwald character. He did some terrible dark wizard shit, and the last we saw, he jumped out of a window, and he looked like he was in his, I don't know, 20s. And then we have a new movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We're getting a sequel, obviously. This is what we're talking about. But he's the same character who doesn't look like he aged a day, played by Jack Sparrow, aka Johnny Depp, played the same actor. He looks like he's in his 50s. So that's where I'm kind of confused about, because if this movie is supposed to be set 70 years before Harry Potter in the 70s or 20s, how can that make sense? So unless the character of Grindelwald in Harry Potter is from the night, like that flashback was supposed to be representing him from the 1800s or something like that. I have no idea.
Can't it be from the 1800s?
I mean, we don't know. It was never given a timestamp. But what do you guys think of this? This.
They recast him and.
Well, I know, but my problem with this is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and also Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald, which is a sequel. They're using it. He looks like he's in his 50s, and yet this movie takes place in the 20s. However, Harry Potter takes place in the 90s. I don't know which Harry Potter movie he made an appearance in, but that was a particular movie. Might have been Order of the Phoenix, might have been Goblet of Fire, I don't remember. But there was a specific scene where he looks like he's in his 20s. Unless that scene was meant to be a flashback to like the 1800s, which is a possible theory.
All repeated a long time before Harry was born, so it's probably.
So you're saying he might have been from the 1800s, like before Fantastic Beasts came out, like the time period of Fantastic Beasts.
Significantly before Fantastic Beasts was set.
Okay, because that makes more sense, because I was thinking he can't be the same character if he looks like he can't, like, at time where it was like, okay, I'm old. Oh, fast for 70 years. I'm here again. That is not how Harry Potter magic works.
In the movies, but in the book, it's implied that he's around the same age as Dumbledore.
Okay, yeah, because And that's one thing I want to talk about. Dumbledore, I don't know, actually. I never think they specify it. I think it's like 100 or something. I mean, I think in Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince, Ron, like, Hermione is saying, Dumbledore's getting a bit old, and Ron's like, what is he, 100 or something? And all three of them just laugh. But it's a joke, but like, what if Dumbledore is literally 100 or something?
He is. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
The older that people normally get.
Because the question is, if one thing we're trying to figure out is how old he is in this movie. In the new movie, he must be in his 40s. No. He's a beard. He is played by Jude Law. He's basically a magician, not a wizard yet. He's not yet the guy we know in Harry Potter, but he is the same guy. Now, how old he is, I have no idea. That's the question I have to figure out.
I'm really excited to see young Dumbledore.
Yeah, I'm really excited too, because I feel like it's going to be a very, very good movie, especially the title card, The Crimes of Grindelwand. Oh my god. I don't know what that's about. It's terrible, but it's also awesome. And there's like 3 people using wands. There's Dumbledore, there's Grindelwald, and there's Newt. And that's it. Like, no one else thinks wands are cool anymore. So they're not using wands. I guess not all people are wizards. Well. Remember the guy, the fat dude, or whatever, I don't know, the baker guy, yeah. He's like, I want to be a wizard. What if he becomes a wizard in the movie? Because he
said he's going to be back in the new one.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the first one.
But I mean, he's going to be in the new one. I think the 2 ladies.
Yeah. The poster. There is a poster that shows all of them, and in the poster we have let's see, what does it say? It's that we have Grindelwald, played by Johnny Depp, of course. We have the same characters, Newt, whatever his girlfriend's name is. I don't know, some guy in a chair, I don't really know, Ezra Miller, and a young Dumbledore, who looks like he's in his, I don't know, 40 or something, I don't know. But it's interesting how only 3 characters in this entire poster actually have wands. And it's interesting because the way they're using wands in the new movie, they all have Lumos instead. Like, that's all the thing now, is everyone has Lumos, like, automatically. Lumos is their spell like they just have all times. Is that a thing now? I don't know. Yeah. I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense, because it's like, is Lumos the automatic spell that everyone has nowadays? I mean, think about it. Most Harry Potter movies, that's what they kind of use, is just a bunch of Lumos. Well, maybe it was dark where they were, but I don't know. What do you guys think of this?
I actually enjoy it. The one thing that I found a little odd, though, was the fact that Grindelwald, I know that he's supposed to be there and whatnot, but
yeah.
He's the one that used, that made whatever charm happen that brought the smoke up.
Really?
Part of the scene.
Huh.
So if you watch it, look at who does what when that happens.
Yeah.
You're just kind of shuffling around like he's like, okay, shit's about to go down, and, yeah, it's quite interesting to see.
I mean, I think definitely it's confirmed. My theory was about my confused theory is now been confirmed. I think we all agree that this version of Grindelwald, like the one we see in Harry Potter, he is like an 1800s version of him. That's why he looks younger, because that flashback must have been set way before this timeline. Which makes sense, because otherwise, WTF. But what makes me really excited is seeing wands again, and seeing the Harry Potter universe come back after 5 years after from the first one. But because I'm a big Potter nerd, I love Harry Potter. I've loved everything about it, the music, the characters, especially seeing a new story set in the same universe. It's exciting because we get to see characters I've never seen before, and characters we've all loved, but we don't want to see their backstory. Like Dumbledore, we didn't really get much of Dumbledore's backstory besides, like, I think the only thing we got was one flashback in Harry Potter 6, and that was it. So I think this is legitimately going to be the best, way of knowing what his backstory was, because we really didn't get a lot of Albus's backstory. Although I'm confused why everyone calls characters by the last name. Is that like a British thing? I think that's a British thing. I don't know. Like, everyone calls people...
Well, it's, you call, like a professor by their last name.
Yeah.
Since Dumbledore's the headmaster, everyone calls him Professor
But it's like
Dumbledore.
Malfoy goes, Potter! That's weird. Like, that's a last name thing. But, like...
Boarding school.
Who you're talking to, I mean, if you're pissed off at someone, you're going like, it just sounds cool, pretty much.
Yeah, but still, so we have 2 questions. 1, what's up with that? What's up with Dumbledore? And 2, what's with the title? Is it? I know that Grindelwald was a crime, like he did a crime in the first one, which caused him to get arrested. Now, that's the thing about the second one. I think I read a bit of the plot, but I'm still confused about why it's called Crimes of Grindelwald. Like, I know he's a dark wizard and everything, but it doesn't make any sense. And also, I've heard a lot about what's gonna happen with Dumbledore's character. Jude Law is gonna play younger Dumbledore, and oh no, that's not good. But the idea of the movie is that Newt is that Dumbledore knows Newt. He's known Newt for a while, and he's gonna help him out or something. I don't really know what the whole idea of it, but that's what I know about it. Now, as for Dumbledore himself, I'm very curious to see, like, if we're gonna explore more of his backstory, because we got, like, I think the books were the only source of backstory we ever got for Dumbledore, besides that.
Not even much. It was just a, part of the chapter in book 6.
Like, we got, like, a little bit well, we got a little bit in 7. Like, we got backstory from his brother. That was it. Like, we got a little backstory from his brother. We knew he had a brother. We knew he had a mom, and that was it. So we don't really know anything else about Dumbledore. But I'm really liking the fact that we're getting a younger version of Dumbledore. Of course, then you think about this. In Harry Potter 6, when they went back in time to when Dumbledore first met Tom, and then we have a new Dumbledore, which is even younger, and I'm very curious. So, enough of my rambling. What do you guys think of? What do you think is gonna happen with this new Dumbledore?
It honestly kind of cool to know more about the backstory to how he, younger version of him would be really cool to see. His path.
Yeah, totally.
See how to now with Harry.
Yeah.
See how the magic is different.
Definitely. I mean, it's not going to be about Harry Potter. It's going to be all about Newt. As far as I know, it's Newt's story. He's the one whose the story revolves around. It's about him. We're not going to get any Harry Potter. Although I imagine we'll get some Harry Potter characters. We like Dumbledore, obviously. I don't know, but I think it's the only character we're going to get from the Harry Potter world. Besides that, because I'm also curious to know if we're going to get new spells, because I don't think we got. Did we get any new spells in the first one, in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
Yeah.
We did?
Did we?
I don't remember.
I think we actually did, yeah.
Did we?
Some stuff that happened in the middle of their equivalent to the Ministry of Magic, Police, whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Their equivalent. They had that going on. They also had that really weird ass spell or whatever that's going to disintegrate everyone.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that one.
Not them all.
I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but yeah, totally.
And some of the things that they used to get the little gerbil thing, that little brick.
That was a cool spell, actually. I like that one. But I'm very curious to see if we're gonna get any new spells, as well as just like anything new besides spells. I'd love to see. They did a great job with making the new movie franchise. So like the fact that they added stuff to the new movie to make it way different than Harry Potter itself, because it is not a Harry Potter movie. It is in the universe, yes, but it is not a Harry Potter movie at all. And I liked how they did combine the Harry Potter style, but they made it a very different movie, and that was what I liked about it. And I'm thinking they'll probably do the same thing with the next one and the next one and the next one, because it's it's a new direction. This is a whole new story, and I'm very excited to see what they do with it. Also, if they have the same comedy and the same kind of music, people were very upset about the fact that they had Hedwig's theme in the opening logo. People that were very upset. It's like, come on. Yeah. That's the most iconic piece of Harry Potter music you can forget. Come on. Come on. Who doesn't like Harry Potter Hedwig's theme?
Stuff it is. It's just as long as it's good music within the same Harry Potter universe, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I totally understand that.
If you really want to boil what it's down to, that whole song Hedwig's theme or whatever, it's a mystical creature that's awesome to the main character. It's a constant companion, so you can do that with any of the different beasts. That's what the whole damn thing is about. Mystical beasts.
Totally.
Where to find them and shit like that. I mean, seriously, you can just have that little gerbil bastard.
Mythical beasts and where to find them and shit.
Yeah.
And he's throwing steals on.
Yeah, totally. So real quick, I actually have the plot for this movie. It doesn't give everything away; it just gives the basic idea of it. So kind of like that Spider-Man game, I'm gonna read you the plot so you can get an idea of what this movie's about. So it says the year is 1927. I have no idea when the first one took place. So a few months have passed since the events of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Gellert Grindelwald has escaped imprisoned as he promised, and has begun gathering followers to his cause, elevating wizards above all non-magical beings. the only one capable of putting a stop to him as the wizard he once called his closest friend Albus Dumbledore. However, Dumbledore will need to seek help from the wizard who had thwarted Grindelwald once before, his former student, Newt Scamander. The adventure reunites Newt with American friends Tina, Queenie, and Jacob. Yay! But his mission will test their loyalties as they face new perils in an increasingly dangerous and divided wizarding world. That is the plot. So, based off that, I don't really know what to say about that, but I was more or less right about, you know, I kind of figured that Newt and Dumbledore would kind of be friends, and it makes sense because they're both wizards, although in this movie, Dumbledore will be a mage. I've heard he's not a wizard yet, he's a mage. So, same difference, though.
With Dumbledore and Grindelwald, I think it's going to be more of a professional courtesy between the two. I don't think that they're going to be all buddies and whatnot.
Yeah. Because
Dumbledore was his professor, and it makes sense with the character, because Dumbledore doesn't really have a whole lot of friends.
Yeah, obviously.
He has professors that have a professional relationship. Even McGonagall, they have almost like a flirtatious thing between one another, but it's more of a respect for each other's abilities.
Yeah.
To see him be all buddies with someone, I think that's the only one it would be really appropriate for him to be with, because he doesn't really even have that with Harry. It was still a professional relationship where he cares about him, but it's not really anything more than that.
Definitely.
I think the only one that we can really see anything more with and would have a lot more impact for the character is seeing his relationship with Grindelwald. I think that.
Well, I mean, I think what they might do, and this could impact the future installments, is what they've done with you know, since ever since J.K. Rowling confirmed that Dumbledore is gay and he's gay with Grindelwald, maybe they'll brush up on that a little bit. I don't expect them to. I mean, it'd be interesting if they do, but I don't expect them to be that to be a thing at all. If they do it, it would be very, very interesting. But I don't see that happening. Even though it's been established that he is gay and he did have a thing for Grindelwald, I just don't think that would be that quick. I think if they ever do that, it would be like the final movie or something. I don't know, but it wouldn't make sense.
I agree. I think that's going to probably take place in the final movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I also think that there's going to be tension between the two.
Especially since we just got Dumbledore in this new movie, and this is like the only time we're going to see a younger version of him in any movie besides the flashbacks, and that wasn't even that good. Weren't even like the best flashbacks we've seen of younger Dumbledore. So still, I'm thinking, I'm curious to see, you know, what this movie has about it. We have no idea what it's coming out next year, essentially, quite literally almost next year, the 16th of November next year. We can talk about it more when the trailer actually drops, but I can say, as I'm very interested to see where the title came from, because obviously there must be a crime happening, because he didn't escape prison, so that must be crazy. I'm very excited to see where this new movie franchise is going. Everyone was like, oh, Harry Potter's dead, yeah, no more movies. Oh wait, here we have a new movie coming out, yay! Actually, speaking of Harry Potter, before I change subjects real quick, there was actually a really, really cool thing I saw. So, somewhere in Seattle, there's this guy who has turned his driveway into Diagon Alley. I am not kidding.
My uncle went there.
It's awesome. Like, it's not even complete, but it looks really, really cool. Because I love that place. That is a really magical place. I am in love with that structure. I want to call it that, or that neighborhood. That piece of, well, I don't know what you call it. An alley, a magical alley, shops, whatever.
I hate to do this, guys, but something's going on, so I have to go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I will
Bye.
talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.
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 Anyway, but yeah, we can't really go much besides that, but all I can say is I'm hyped for this movie. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very, very curious to see what they're gonna do with the characters, and it looks pretty cool. So yeah, if that's all we have for this poster, would you guys like to move on to the next topic?
I'm super excited.
Okay, so we finally got a teaser look at Incredibles 2, or it's literally just called Incredibles 2. I thought it was gonna be called The Incredibles 2, but it's quite literally just called Incredibles 2. What do you guys think of it?
Years.
Yeah, it's only been 14 years, Pixar. 14 years!
Yeah.
It's a long time, man.
Yeah.
People, it's like a long time to have a movie. Like, the first one, there was a cliffhanger. With no, but and we can only get anyone now? Come on.
Little Lucas was so confused when that movie ended on
Really?
cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm like,
What do you mean?
that's it? Yeah, I was very disappointed about how the first one ended. I was
Me too.
excited because I'm like, is that it? I mean, we didn't really get any follow-up until the video game, but like, we're finally getting a sequel after 14 fucking years. It's a fucking long time. Especially for a movie. But seriously.
time.
I mean, I'm really interested because all we got to see was Jack finally showing off his powers for real. Because everyone apparently the family didn't know he has powers. He can use heat vision. He can shoot electricity. He can become like a flame guy. And we saw first appearance. We got the Incredibles logo, which is awesome with the music. It's like dun 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 dun, like, and then it like goes around and it shows you girls too. And then it has Bob going, he has powers! Yeah, baby! And that was basically the trailer. 50 seconds of trailer. That was it. What do you guys think?
I'm looking forward to the movie. Frankly, with Pixar, the recent string of reviving old films and stuff like that, it hasn't been all that good. Monsters Inc. was the first one, and I grew up with Monsters Inc. for years until I watched Jurassic Park.
I was terrified of that movie.
That was my favorite movie ever.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Monsters Inc. and was terrified me actually.
But I think that because they took so long to do this, and it's been in talks for many years, because Monsters University was okay, let's just do it, and no one knew about it until the trailer hit. But this one's been in talks for many years. The fans have been wanting it. The actors have been wanting it back. I think that they can.
I heard that it was in development for 4 years, meaning it would have been talked about in 2013, and it wasn't until now. It wasn't only development. Like I think they were talking about the possibility of it back 2013, and ever since then, they've been constantly working on like a script about where the plot's gonna be. I'm guessing what the villain's gonna be will be revealed in the official trailer. We only got less than a minute worth of trailer, so we didn't really get much. We just got new animation style, which I'm in love with. God, that animation style was amazing. It looks incredible. Yeah, pun there. I'm sorry about the pun, but it does look incredible. Yeah.
Bastard.
I'm sorry, but I didn't make that joke. I didn't mean to.
I love the hiccup at the end.
Yeah.
That hiccup that Jack has. I just laughed my ass off there.
I know, and the fact that about this movie is that the animation style looks so new. And also, what I was thinking was like, oh, maybe the movie takes place a few months after a few years after the first one, meaning that Jack's voice Dash's voice can change, which is why they recast him. But no, it'll be a slightly different version of Jack's voice, kind of like what they did with Despicable Me 3, where the girl who voiced one of the little girls, she didn't return in the third one for some reason, so they recast her voice, and you couldn't even tell that it was a different voice actor. Like so many movies so many animated movies nowadays, they recast the role, and you hardly even recognize that they recast them. Like kind of like Toy Story 3, where they recast Slinky Dog, and you couldn't even tell the difference between the voice recast, because like literally you'd watch the movie. I think it was the third movie or something, and you're like, that's a different voice actor? Really? It wouldn't be until you watch the credits like, oh, that's a different voice actor. Oh my god. You don't even realize that it was. Same thing with here. I bet, well, when you watch the trailer, you'll be like, it's still Dash. Different voice actor. No, it isn't. That's where you're gonna get, like, same voice actor. Nope. Really? That's the crazy part about it.
Did it like Dash's?
Not the original voice actor, no. So Day 23, the convention they have for Disney, they brought back all the original voice actors for The Incredibles, except Dash, because apparently the voice actor for that character, his voice got a little too old, and they wanted the one with the same age-ish Dash, like about a few months older, so I'm guessing what they'll do is they'll explain something, or he'll just probably sound similar. It won't be that big a deal. I mean, it's been done before, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. I mean, I bet you'll won't even recognize the voice change. I mean, seriously, it's...
I hope not. I like that actor.
Yeah, honestly, that movie, aside from, compared to Spider-Man 2, it is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, animated. I mean, even though it's animated, it is still one of the best superhero movies of all time. If you compare it to Spider-Man 2, they're both the best, but that one's better, definitely. And I'm really excited to see where this new movie is kind of going, like the plot, who's returning, and I hope that Ebonmo's coming. No caps, because that'd be awesome. I think that
no caps.
Something that it was kind of ironic because I didn't see their whole teaser trailer just tomorrow thing from Disney until early this morning. But it was actually early today that I was just thinking, you know what? I wonder if they ever brought back The Incredibles 2 like they've been talking about. How would they do it?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, oh shit. They are. Damn good timing.
Although I'm very curious. I mean, I know it's not that big a deal, but I was a little kind of like, huh? When they dropped the so I was expecting The Incredibles 2 to be called The Incredibles 2, but now it's just to be called Incredibles 2. Not that big a deal, but I'm just kind of confused, like, is there a reason for it, or are they just simplifying it? I mean, I'm guessing they're just simplifying it, but, like, I was caught off guard by that. It's like,
It doesn't
okay.
really matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, it's a movie then. It's still gonna be a movie. I'm still watching it.
You know what I'm kind of surprised about is
What?
that so I thought that because like I said earlier today, I was just thinking about how would they pull off a new one. I actually thought that they would probably go somewhere around the lines of like making this take place years later, because it's been years later, and I mean, you can even look at Rob. I mean, look at his eyes. The bangs under his eyes are they're baggy now.
He's older, yeah, definitely.
I mean, if it just takes place a few months later, then why did they draw him like that?
I don't know. He looks more or less the same. Although, one question I'm kind of confused, and kind of, this is what makes me, everyone who wants the sequel more bad than ever now is going to happen, is everyone hated Pixar for that one movie that never came out. And it's like, now finally getting, it's like, okay, Pixar, what took so long? Why did you take so long to make a sequel? Because not only is 2018 going to be an awesome year with movies, there are going to be a lot of sequels coming on next year. Unbelievable amount, especially this one. But it's confusing, like, what took so long? Why did they delay it so many times? Like, why did they delay it by 14 years? It was almost going to be 15 years, but now it's like, why the delay?
Maybe they just went through director hell.
Well, no, because the same director's coming back for the movie. But the question is, they made a video game that followed up for the first one, but they never made a. Because the movie was the most cliffhanger movie ever. We got the Iron Man, and that was it. But like we got one of those. One of the worst, or no, sorry, one of the best worst cliffhangers ever. It was bad because it was like, what happens next? But it was good. It was good because it was like, oh my god. And then of course we have this whole time gap where it's like, where's the sequel? And Pixar's like, yeah, sorry. Explain your reasoning for no movie yet.
Years later.
That's like, Pixar, you realize how long 14 years is? It's a fucking long time, especially for a movie. A lot of movies haven't come out, and you know, moving on to sequels for movies, but like this movie, it's a long time to wait for a movie. Like seriously, I'm a little irritated with them for that.
Honestly, I don't. So obviously they're wanting people to be invested in having a maybe another will, maybe another won't, or whatever. But I honestly think that they just wanted to have a cliffhanger to have a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then they were expecting all the backlash. Shit, maybe we should actually make a sequel.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's true because because. Now I think the whole reason why they're doing it is just because throw the fans a bone, might as well. And that's what I'm a little worried about with this. Because I mean, it's very obvious that that's what they did with Monster Inc. The only difference is between that and this one is that they have a reason for a sequel. That is the only difference.
Totally.
I've always wanted to have a sequel to it. I love the first one.
Me too. I think it was one of the... Honestly, I think that Incredibles 1 was one of the best Pixar movies ever made. And I think it's still true because it is so good, because especially the music. When I first heard the music in this trailer, I'm like, yes, yes. It's an awesome piece of music. It honestly is. It's incredible. It's honestly amazing. I'm so excited for it.
It's incredible.
Well, it's true. It is true incredible. Like, well, what's not to like about Incredibles 2? It's gonna be an awesome movie. I have no idea what the plot is, but I will say it's gonna be truly a masterpiece when it comes out.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well,
That's my hope, and I'm looking forward to it because I think the first one was incredibly awesome, and I'm gonna stop at the puns, but I will say that I'm very, very curious to see if they have any new characters, because they've got, I mean, I think that I was watching a video about like, are there gonna be new characters? I assume there will be, because we have the Parr family back again. We have most of the voice actors back, but like, what has changed? What have they been up to all this time? Have they defeated the Underminer? Maybe the story will pick up when they're, you know, fighting the Underminer, or maybe it'll pick up when they've been, you know, when they just defeated the Underminer. I don't know. Maybe the Underminer won't be even in the movie. We don't know. We only know that they finally discovered Jack Jenkins' powers. It's awesome. The animation looks amazing. Like, it looks so good. It looks way better than it did in the first one. And honestly, I think it's gonna be from Pixar itself, because they are known to make some incredibly awesome movies, and just detail in the animation work. Like every new Pixar movie, especially with that connection, the Pixar connection, which we'll be talking about soonish, I think, for Disney Part 2. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any Easter eggs, especially for a lot of other ones that have come out in the past. And honestly, yeah, especially that, like, that's an iconic piece of well, we didn't really get to see a lot of that in the movie. I think we only got like one thing from the first movie was like a single car in that movie was a pace truck, but that's okay. So I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen in the movie. Although I think the only reason why they haven't made a movie like a sequel is because they were busy. They didn't have ideas. They didn't know what they were gonna do. They just thought, oh, let's leave the audience at a cliffhanger. No one will really care. Yeah, we care, Pixar. We care. We're freaking pissed. And now you're gonna get a sequel after 14 years? Thank you! Pretty much thank you. That's pretty much all I can say about that, is thank you. Thank you for finally giving us a sequel after 14 years. But...
Again, I just hope that they... I don't want it to just take place a few months after the first one. I want there to be some development or whatever that we haven't seen. I know it's cliche, a lot of other movies do that, and it doesn't always work, but I think that they could very easily have that happen, because I want to see Jack when he's older.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, have Jack be this rebellious teenager or whatever, and having to be like, oh, I don't understand, and like blow the hair out of his face or like that, go on through an emo phase or whatever.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be. I think because in the movie trailer or the teaser, because teaser just doesn't mean it's gonna be the actual footage, but in the teaser we only got him as a baby. He'll probably still be baby unless they make a third one. I mean, I think they probably will make a third one. They will probably have to make a third one because that first movie was so popular, and I love the fact that because I was watching the little behind the scenes video on one of the channels I watch, and they put that same scene of honey, where is my super suit? That is honestly one of the most iconic lines in the entire movie.
Jackson's coming back, right?
Yeah, I was very excited to see that news. I'm like, yeah, because he's my favorite actor. But yeah, it's like, where is my super suit? I love that line. That is it's a great line, honestly.
Where is my super suit?
What? Where is my super suit?
My super suit.
I put it away. The city is in danger. I think they have some of the best.
I am your wife.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna go. You're ever gonna get.
I think that moment was the best part of that movie, and I hope they'll bring some of that comedy back because Samuel L. Jackson is so funny in that role. He is so great, and I hope they'll bring him they'll bring that same style of comedy they made with the first one, because if they do one-liners like that movie is bound to get like $1 billion at the box office. I'm not gonna say it will, but no reason why it wouldn't.
That's a damn sure.
I mean, I'm very, very excited for this movie because the music, oh my god, that music, it's so amazing. I love it. It's just like, it makes you like get all nerding about, like I've been nerding about I'm nerding all week about, DC TV stuff, but this is the one thing from Pixar, superhero related, that I was, well, I'm not saying that this is going to be better than Infinity War, but I will say this is going to be the comeback to Pixar we ever got, because Pixar has been making some great movies in the past, but like the one sequel they could make, and I think there's a good reason why they're releasing this one first before Toy Story 3, because originally Toy Story 4 was going to be released before this movie. Like I think Incredibles 2 was going to be releasing in 2019, but they were like, oh well, that's when Toy Story 4 is going to come out. But like that Toy Story 4 isn't as big a deal as Incredibles, because Toy Story 4, although that's a big gap, isn't as big a gap as Incredibles, because Toy Story 4 will have been 9 years since it came out. Incredibles 2 will have been 14 years. I think Incredibles 2 is more important, because that's why they delayed it. That's why they delayed Toy Story 4 to the next year, because we haven't gotten Incredibles 2 in forever, and everyone wants that more than Toy Story 4, although I love Toy Story 4, I love the Toy Story franchise as a whole, and I think that having these two franchises released in the same year would be a little bit crazy, because there's only like a lot of movies coming out this year that are released on the same day.
Toy Story 4 is coming out next year?
No. So basically, when I think that when they announced the news about this, it's like, yeah, Incredibles 2 releasing in 2019, but like, oh wait, we can't do that, because that's the same year Toy Story 4 is coming. I think it might have been the same month even. It's like, we can't do that. We're gonna have two Pixar releases the same year, or the same month. I think it might have been the same month. I don't remember which it was, but it's like, we can't do this. It's gonna be like, everyone's gonna want to go, so they want to move over there. They can't choose between Incredibles or Toy Story 4. We have to pick a date. Okay, you know what? Let's move it up to 2018, and let's move Toy Story 4 to this year. Okay, that works. So they decided, you know what? People are more excited about Incredibles 2 than they are for Toy Story 4. I personally think that they're both exciting movies, but honestly, I think we've been waiting for Incredibles 2 longer than we have had Toy Story 4, because although I think Toy Story is a great franchise, I think that the hype is more for Incredibles, because Incredibles is better. And that's my opinion only.
My whole thing is, I don't care which one the which or when or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that Toy Story has been around for a very long time. They're coming up on 4 movies.
Yeah.
Andy's going to college and whatnot, and I don't want to have just some rehash of the previous 3.
Well, they're not gonna do that, actually. Andy is no longer in the movies. He's in college. Although there was a he/she on that, it was pretty funny. But the story that I've been told, and I actually talked about this on a previous podcast about it, is that Bo Peep, who is not in the third one, she has gone missing, and it's like Bonnie is there to take care of the toys, and Bonnie is the girl we saw at the end of Toy Story 3. She's the new owner of the toys, and you left her the toys after the end of Toy Story 3. Now, the story of Toy Story 4, as far as I know, is that Bo Peep, the love interest for Woody, has gone missing, and it is up to the toys to bring her home somehow. They go off on another adventure and they bring her home. That's the plot of the 4th movie. I have no idea besides that. That's it. I don't even know if we're gonna get a voice cameo by Andy. Probably not gonna have that Andy at all, because he's not even in the story anymore. I mean, come on, why would he be in the story? I think it's gonna be about Bonnie being the new caretaker of the toys. I can't talk today. But it won't be. It'll be all about the new toy. It'll be all about new toys and also the toys from we saw for the previous 3. But because Bo Peep was in the third one, I think the reason why she wasn't in the third one was because she was given away. So something happens to her. They find out where she is. That she's like, I think she must have been like tossed out or something by the kid who bought her, or whatever, or to pick her. I don't know what happened in the Toy Story about that, but basically they're looking for her, and that's the plot of that one. But I think people are gonna want to see The Incredibles 2 more than they want to see Toy Story 4, because although, I mean, who doesn't like Toy Story? I mean, seriously, it's a classic Pixar movie. It was one of the first Pixar movies to ever release, and I love it.
It was the first Pixar animated.
It was, yeah, and I think it isn't as big a deal. I mean, I'm still excited for the 4th one. Although I will say, Incredibles 2 will be a much bigger deal, because more people are gonna want to see it. Kind of like what they did with a lot of movies this year, where they have 2 big releases. But like, for example, June 2nd was the day that both Wonder Woman and Captain Underpants came out. Now, who want to see Wonder Woman more? Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't want to see Captain Underpants because, well, not people as much care about that little book series. They want to see Wonder Woman more. So if you have 2 Pixar movies releasing the same exact day, it really wouldn't make sense. It would be this big hype here when it's like, oh, I want to see that movie. Oh, this movie looks good too. I can't decide. That's why they have to move the dates. It's kind of like what they did with Batman v Superman and Civil War, where they had to move the dates because they really couldn't release 2 superhero movies on the same day. It wouldn't work out. Same thing with this. You can't release 2 Pixar movies the same day or the same year. Well, same year, but not the same day. It's the same month, maybe. I guess you could work that out, but it would still be a little crazy. But that's just what I think.
Not only that, but they would be having 2 completely different franchises by both amazing by different standards.
Yeah.
From the same company competing during the same time. That's just not smart.
Exactly.
That's not good for business. If you really wanted to have a competition between 2 studios, that would be a lot more logical. But having it between the same exact studios for whatever reason, that's just not going to work. Not logically or like professionally. Because you want to make the maximum amount of money. That's what this is. It's entertainment, but it's a company. It's about making money. It's a business. Everything you buy from a certain product, it's going to a company. And why the hell would you release them at the same time, same year or whatever, without having some sort of flux? Okay, things are dying down. Okay, release another one. dying down, another one.
Yeah.
Another one. That way, if for some reason one of those movies is a miss,
Another one.
it's not going to take a loss. They're going to take a loss.
Exactly, and
because people want to save their money.
It's like, because especially for this year, since Pixar is releasing 2 movies. This year they had Cars 3 back in June, and they're releasing Coco, that new movie, the musical movie coming in November, actually coming on this 22nd, which is Wednesday. So the same kind of thing with DC, Marvel, and other studios where they release 2 movies a year. With Pixar, I feel like they're doing the exact same thing, but not as much. Like they're not really. I think the original idea was to release a movie every year, but now I think it's almost gonna be 2 movies a year. I think it is. I think that's the idea. But even then, it would. be crazy for them to release 2 movies in the same or the same month for that matter. I think it's business wise it's a bad direction, but because of the wait, because it's been so long, I think this is gonna be one of the best Pixar movies ever. I think it might be even better than the previous movie. Because of how long it's been since the first movie came out, I think it'll be a way better movie than the first one. Although the first one was great, I think because it's been so long, and usually when you release a movie after so long, it becomes the hype becomes even better. That's just what I think. I feel like if a sequel takes is taking forever to come out, and they finally announce it, and they finally have a release date, and then the release date comes like next year or whatever, and then it finally releases, that's where it's like, oh my god, this movie finally came out, and it's actually really good. That doesn't always happen, but I feel like with this particular sequel, because next year is full of sequels. You wouldn't even imagine how many sequels are releasing next year. It's just like, it's mind-blowing how many sequels are coming next year, but this particular movie franchise, with Pixar, there's such a original story. They have such original stories. I think that this sequel is going to be better than the first one because of the fact that it's been so long, and also I think they actually are fairly good storytellers. If you look in the past movies of Pixar, they actually make some pretty good stories. They actually, as a studio, they do some pretty good storytelling if you think about it. Especially Disney. Disney is one of the best studios that does storytelling. Especially animated storytelling. I think that's all. That's really all I can say about that. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up, Incredibles related, or what?
I'm hyped. I've waited 14 years.
Yeah.
Why the movie ended that way.
You waited 14 years for a movie that finally is coming out. Yes, I agree with that. I think it's awesome. I think it's exciting. I'm really hyped for it. And yeah, I'm like this when I watched the trailer. I'm like, yes. So yeah, I think we'll talk about this movie again when the trailer actually comes out next year. But until then, I think that's all we have time for this evening. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to discuss before we end it, I think that'll be doing it for this episode.
No, I can't think of anything.
All right. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. We really do appreciate the support. Also, subscribe to my channel for more episodes of the Madhouse. And also, don't forget to subscribe to Steve Kovoc, Chakky, and bigdinoguy. Links will be in the description below. Check them out. And we will be back next time for yet another episode, because we are awesome. Alright, bye-bye.
Bye.